Alright, is it expensive to travel in Kazakhstan? Well, this is a question that is always been asked by a lot of people. The cost of living, the expenses. Is it cheap or is it expensive? Well, I would say that it's not cheap. So in this video, I'll be sharing more on a Malaysian perspective. So you want to count in USD, you can just divide by 4.2. That will be in USD. Alright, so this video I'm just sharing about 3 aspects. The first thing is the meal, and the second thing is accommodation. The third thing will be the transport. And these 3 things are very important when it comes to traveling overseas or to a new country. So without further ado, let's dive in and talk about the first part, which is actually the meal. So when it comes to food, is it expensive? Yes, it can be quite costly. A normal meal from like mid-range restaurants might cost you around 3,000 tenge. That's actually around 25 to 30 ringgit. That can be very expensive for just one person, even for breakfast. This restaurant called Afisha, and one of the very nice breakfasts costs you around 3,000 tenge. That's actually around 28 or 30 ringgit. At that time, last year I went. And if you want to go for more high-end restaurants, it might be even more than that. For 2 persons, it might be more than 10,000 tenges. So it really depends on which kind of restaurants that you're going to. So if you want to go for a cheaper meal, you can go for some like Nawat. It's actually the franchise restaurants. It can be cheaper. The price can be more reasonable compared to other restaurants. And the second thing is actually the accommodation, which is actually the important part. Because when you are staying there, it really depends on you are going there as a tourist or you are going there for a long term. So in this video, I'll just sharing about as a tourist, meaning that you are going either staying in Airbnb or you're going to stay in a hotel. So for your information, the hotel, the price will be around 200 to 300 ringgit per night. That's actually for 2 persons. So that can be quite expensive actually. So check it out from Agoda. If you look at this from Agoda, you can see that some hotels will cost you around 300 ringgit. That's actually the standard price. So this hotel is actually around 81 ringgit. I think the review is not so good. So let's go for a better review like 8.5, 8.3. And the price is around 300 ringgit per night. And that can be very expensive. And you should convert to USD, it's less than 100 US dollars. But for in ringgit, it's 350 ringgit. That is actually exclusive of Agoda tax. Another suggestions I give you is Airbnb. This can be cheaper as well compared to hotel. So this is actually some of the prices for the apartment that I can find in Almaty. So it might cost you around 200 to 300 ringgit as well. And you can check it out here. And you can get a much better environment compared to hotels. And most of the apartments are actually located at the center, which can be quite near to some of the tourist areas. So do know that hotels in Almaty can be quite expensive, and also some of the buildings are quite old, especially the Kazakhstan hotel, because they started in 1970s, if I'm not mistaken, or 1980s. I can't remember, because that time was one of the first hotel in Almaty during Soviet era. So it will be very expensive for the accommodations. My suggestion is to go for Airbnb, which I saw a lot of people did this because it's cheaper and the environment is newer and nicer. From outside, it looks very old and dilapidated, but when you go inside, it looks very nice. This is actually the same for the Airbnb in Almaty, because those buildings, right, is like old Soviet type of buildings known as the Kuchovsha, where they're like only 5 stories, which is quite low. Okay, those buildings or apartments were built during Soviet era. Okay, that's why you see some of the buildings are quite old, but the thing is that inside, it looks amazing. And the third one is actually transport. Transport is also very important. For my previous video, I shared about you can use the next go to call for a cab. So let's say you want to experience like local, taking buses or maybe take MRT, right? You can go for buses, which cost you around 120 tenge with the One card. So you can buy this One card from some areas or convenience stores. It costs you around 120 tenge. If you don't have any card like this One, you can pay cash, which might cost you more than 200 tenge. And for the MRT, you have to buy on the spot at the counter, which only costs you around 100 tenge. So you just pay them with 100 tenge coin. You can get this 1 coin, which allows you to travel for all the stations to the place they want to go, and it can save you a lot of time also. So these are actually 3 things that I want to share with you about is it expensive to travel to Kazakhstan or Almaty. And for information, I would say that it's not so cheap and it's not too expensive like some countries like Singapore or some areas like Hong Kong. And I just checked it out from internet to find out why Kazakhstan or Almaty is so expensive. For information, Almaty is actually the biggest and the busiest city, and one of the main reasons is because of the tenge, which is actually the currency, was somehow being weakened because of the fluctuations of oil prices in the world market. Kazakhstan is an oil producing country where they exported a lot of oil, and that's why it is somehow being affected by the oil prices. So the fluctuations will definitely affect tenge, and when tenge weaken, it will be more expensive for the locals or businesses to purchase or import goods from other countries. So that's why things can be very expensive in Kazakhstan, because Kazakhstan also import a lot of goods from other countries. Alright, so that's all for today and about this video to share about is it expensive to travel in Kazakhstan, and also based on what I understand about Kazakhstan. So if you have been to Kazakhstan before, want to share your opinion about is it expensive or you think it's cheap, please leave a comment down below. So that's all for today, and I'll see you next coming video. Bye bye.